I just got this laptop and I think it's smarter than my $5,000 desktop PC. This is the ASUS Zephyrus G16, and there are 4 reasons why I think it's smarter. I want to share those with you, because if any one of these 4 reasons applies to you, then this could be the perfect laptop for you. So let's get started. Reason no. 1 is that this laptop has a secret second display inside of it that I didn't even know existed until I opened up the lid. Because right here in the middle, there's this touchpad, and above the touchpad, there's this hinge. But when you open it up, it's not like a regular display. It doesn't say, hey, welcome to Windows. It says, would you like to continue? And that's because this display is actually part of the trackpad. It's a touchscreen, and it gives you all sorts of options that you wouldn't have otherwise. Like I can tap on something to bring up the color palette and choose a color and then pick a brush size and then draw. And it's actually surprisingly responsive. There's almost no lag. But also check this out. If I swipe down from the top left corner, I can actually drag files over onto the desktop. So I can go into my documents, grab a file, drag it over onto my desktop. And this isn't like AirDrop where I have to hold 2 things at the same time. I can just grab it with 1 finger and move it over. And the cool thing about this secondary display is it does so many different things. If I swipe down, I can do a quick access to all my apps. If I swipe up, I can access all my windows. If I swipe left, I can scroll through all the desktops I have. If I swipe right, I can see the weather, or I can see the calendar, or I can see notifications. And also, if I pinch in, I can make this window smaller, or I can pinch out and make it bigger. This entire trackpad is pressure sensitive. So if I put more pressure on the trackpad, I can scroll faster. And as soon as I lift my fingers off, it stops scrolling. Or if I double tap, I can switch between light and dark mode. Or I can press and hold to change the volume. And speaking of changing the volume, look how cool this is. Let's say I'm watching a video, and I want to change the balance between the speakers on the left side and the speakers on the right side. I can actually do that right here on the trackpad by sliding my finger over this bar. Reason no. 2 is that this laptop has what's called an eGPU port. Now at first I thought this was a Thunderbolt port, but it's actually an eGPU port. If you don't know what an eGPU is, it's basically an external graphics card. So you plug your high-end gaming graphics card into this port, and then you plug 1 cable into your monitor, and suddenly you have a full-functioning desktop computer, except it's running entirely off of battery power. So I can run my entire desktop off of battery power. But the crazy part is this. The way they did it is they left the internal graphics card in the computer. So I can unplug the eGPU and still have a fully functioning computer that uses its internal graphics card. And that means I can play games directly on the internal graphics card. Now the internal graphics card won't be able to run AAA titles, but I can play older, less intensive games. Reason no. 3 is that the screen on this laptop can actually transform itself. You see right now it's in 16:9 mode. But if I press this button right here, it actually changes the aspect ratio of the entire display. It shrinks the sides, and now it's in this sort of laptop form factor. But you're probably wondering, why would I ever want to use my laptop in that orientation? Well, let me show you. If I open up Photoshop, then I can make much better use of the available space. I mean, look at this. I have so much more room to work with. In fact, I could probably leave this panel open, have multiple panels open. Now, before you start thinking this is the perfect laptop for you, please keep in mind that it only works with the specific software that supports this aspect ratio. It doesn't work with everything. But for the specific programs that do support it, it makes those programs easier to use. And finally, reason no. 4 is that this laptop has 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, which is a lot. And I love it because I can have hundreds of Chrome tabs open, and I never have to worry about my computer slowing down. And on top of that, this laptop comes with 2 terabytes of storage. So I can store a lot of photos and videos on my computer without having to worry about running out of space. Also helps that this laptop has an AMD Ryzen processor along with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 graphics card. That means that the GPU and the CPU are both from different companies, which increases the chances that one day this laptop will be supported by artificial intelligence. Just think about it. We already have GPT-4, and we already have ChatGPT, and we already have DALL-E and Midjourney. What happens when all these different AI technologies come together? Will it be able to write scripts, produce music, create marketing funnels, build websites, do taxes? All these different things done by humans could be potentially done by a computer. And if that happens, I want my computer to be ready for it. And I think this laptop is going to be ready for it because, again, it has 32 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. But despite all these cool features, there are 3 things that I don't like about this laptop. First is that it's really heavy. It weighs about 5 pounds, which is heavier than some laptops that have way more stuff inside of them. Secondly is that the keyboard is a little bit too mushy for my liking. And thirdly is that this laptop doesn't have a fingerprint scanner. Instead, it uses facial recognition. Now, normally I don't care about facial recognition because I find it super convenient. But this laptop doesn't have a webcam. So if I want to use facial recognition, I have to buy an external webcam. And then after spending $5,000, I'm not sure if buying an external webcam is the best use of money. Now, the good news is that this laptop starts at about $1,700. And I think it's worth every single penny because it's not just a laptop. It's a laptop that can do things that other computers can't do. It's canned if you think about it. Computers are just going to get smarter and smarter. I mean, look at ChatGPT. When it first came out, it wasn't very good, but nowadays it's insanely powerful. And the reason why it's gotten so powerful is because of the infrastructure that's powering it, which is all just data centers filled with computers. And the way I see it, this laptop is kind of like a mini data center. And so if you're someone who wants to stay ahead of the curve, you want to get this laptop because it's not just a laptop. It's a glimpse into the future. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.